Alright guys, before we get into this video, you may notice that I'm wearing a Monster Z shirt for this video. Just wanted to send a shout out to my good buddy who owns Monster Z, and his media group is fantastic. What they do is side-by-side stuff, and he didn't ask me to do this. I just like their stuff. Thought maybe you would too. So if you like outdoor stuff, you like side-by-sides, four-wheelers, mud bogging, rock climbing, all of that stuff, that's what Monster Z does. You can check out his channel on YouTube. Just search Monster Z. You'll find him. Go watch that content if you want something a little different from my Florida Man stuff.
You're watching Florida Man TV. Let's do this.
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today on Florida Man TV, we're going to do some upgrades to not only the Hobie Adventure Island, but the trailer itself. So let's go over what we're going to do in this video here and see if we can fit it all in one video. When I bought this, the guy had a standard trailer here for a jet ski, and I don't know if you'll be able to tell, but the Hobie barely grabs the end of these bunks right here. So first order of business that we have is the Hobie trailer cradle set. So we got this guy here. He goes in the back and holds the amas in place, as well as the main kayak, and then this one up front, which I think just holds the main kayak here, but we'll have to figure it out because Hobie gives you very little instructions with this thing here. It just says mount cradle with taper forward. So we're gonna get this off of here, and we're gonna start by making the trailer easier to load and unload. What happens for me is when I try and move this thing by myself, it instantly just slides to one side right here, and with the amas on there, the whole thing just kind of kicks sideways, and man, what a mess. So it'll be nicer to have a solid platform across there to slide the Hobie on and off the trailer. So there guys, you saw my problem. Even with the Hobie being naked, trying to get it off the trailer, one little mess up in balance and it slides into the middle of the bunks. So step one, what we got to do, loosen these bolts up, make our bunks flat. So we're going to loosen this stuff up. We're going to flatten the bunks so that these guys can go on there. I've got it sitting nice and even on the trailer here. It's balanced. It's not too nose heavy. It's not too tail heavy. Not rubbing here. See, we got a gap from the tire. We are nice and tight under here. Not really nice and tight in the cradle right here, but it could be just the way I've got the kayak positioned here. But a little bit of a space. There's a plug here though, so maybe there's supposed to be a space. I don't know, but it's sitting in the cradle nice here. And then for the back, sitting nice in the cradle here. Same of course on the other side here for the ama rest. And then underneath here, pretty good. All right, it's sitting in there. Now I think I should put a brace in here just to be safe, because this is the point where you're sliding the kayak up and down on the trailer. So I will do that. At any rate, we've got it positioned where I can put my screw holes in. So I think I'm going to get the wife to help me lift this thing off, and then we're going to screw it down, and I'll be back with the next step. And before you go and laugh, remember, this is Florida Man TV. I'm trying to do it as cheap and inexpensive and functional as possible. Let's go through it. So here we are mounted. We pre-drilled the holes, put a lag bolt in there. They are not going anywhere. And you see we got a center bolt here. That is because we went ahead and went down to the old hardware store there, got us a 2x4 and a bunch of braces underneath here, and we put a little brace bar in the middle just to be safe. Now for the fun part, because it doesn't just go on this plastic here, we get to put these guys all in the little holes here. Stickers! Yeah, so let's put the pads in here and I'll get you one final look of the trailer once it's done. All right, fellers, there she is. Got the pads installed there. Looks a little funny with a V, but I don't care as long as it's functional. So now, I guess what we need to do, I've got it hooked up to the truck here just to simulate loading this thing. So I'm gonna go ahead and try and load the kayak, make sure that it fits, and then we'll move on to some other kayak mods that we're gonna do once it's up on the trailer and at a working height. Yeah, not too bad. I think it'll be easier when the kayak's hull is wet, because with the pads on here, it was a little sticky. But as you saw, got it up there by myself. That's the whole point of having the trailer set up, to make it easier to load. It's not, you know, falling back and forth, and sits in there nice. So now that we got it on there, we can go ahead and do some other upgrades. So let's move on to that. What are you doing, baby girl? Angel, what are you doing? What are you doing? All right, guys, let's do an easy mod. This here strap. It's your rudder fin strap, just to keep your rudder from falling down. That way you don't have to have your line locked up here and have tension on it. Watch how hard this install is going to be. We just put the strap on there, and then it's got a little hook. Now I know on the new ones it has an eyelet or whatever, but check this out. We're just going to go down here and hook the handle. Voila. So difficult. I figured you needed instructions on how that worked. Okay, on to the next mod. Everywhere I go, little inchworms all over everything. All right, guy, get off of there. All right, what we're gonna do is upgrade the Hobie AIs to the dual bungee next. So this is pretty simple. You unscrew these here, and I don't have the proper removal tool, and I don't have a little tiny like snap ring removal tool or nothing, but you got to unscrew these and then upgrade to the dual bungee. Now you'll notice we only have one of the eyelets here, so we're gonna have to drill another eyelet up here in both of the rears and rivet that in. So I've got my rivet gun here, and what I've found is that these strippers actually fit perfect in there. When I am kind of going down the old the bay or the Gulf here, you see how as the waves are hitting this, the AI's not really staying in there, right? So I mean, it'll hold it up, but they're just wore out and they don't really, you know, hold. So that's why we're upgrading to dual bungee, and brand new bungees should be a little tighter. So let's get it done. I'll be back with an update. So once you get these loose, they just thread out, and this is a sealed threaded chamber, so you don't have to worry about, you know, water and stuff getting in there or adding any sealant or nothing like that. And so we're gonna do this side here and do the fronts first, and then we'll drill the backs. All right, we got these installed, and I can already tell you, I just hooked one on each side here, and I can already tell you this one's still a little bit loose, but that's because of where this bungee is. Let me see if I do the other one. Yeah, gives it a little more, you see. Now what I can do, if I really want this tight, so you can spin this over. Spin this over here like this. Hard to do one-handed, but if you spin it over, you see that loop there gives it a little extra, and I could do that on this one too, and then it really holds. But this rear one, it's much tighter. Sorry for the camera work. This rear one's much tighter. You can see how far the distance is it's got to go, and so when you pull that up there, this thing really holds. So when we go to put this rivet in, I was gonna measure and do the same length here as up here. But I think what I'm gonna do is I might just go a half an inch, not even a half an inch, a quarter of an inch more to like up there, just to really kind of hold it in place. But let's go ahead and drill and put our rivet in. All right, that's a 3/16 hole. If you're doing this and you need to know what drill bit it is, look at that. Fits nice and tight in there. It's gonna work out good. All right, I measured the button here. It's 2 inches on the front. So center eye to center eye is 2 inches. And the back, I checked, and 2 inches, as you see here, the bungee, that would have given it some pretty good tension at 2 inches. We would put it about right there. I just went 2.5 inches, just for shits and giggles, to make sure that it was nice and tight right there. So I'm going to go ahead and grab the rivet gun, rivet this in here, and we'll see how she looks. There you go. So one side complete here on the double bungee upgrade. So we're good. She's not going any, wait, gotta slap it. That ain't going anywhere. All right, guys, I'm gonna do the other side. I'll be back with the next mod coming up. All right, now that we got both AMAs upgraded, happy about that. Last thing we're gonna do is the ram mount here for my Garmin GPS. Now, on this ram mount, it's the Easy Roller ram mount. I don't remember who makes it, but you can find it on online if you just type in Easy Roller ram mount for Garmin GPS Map 78 or 7 series. You'll find it. But any ram mount. So, you know, this is technically the mounting plate, but if you see, that just doesn't look right, you know what I mean? But the great thing is, with ram mounts, the whole spacing is identical no matter which side you use. So I'm going to use the skinny side that's supposed to mount here on the back. You see this cutout matches this cutout. But what I'm going to do, because it fits really nice right there, and that's about where I want it, is I'm going to use the skinny side, and see if I can do this one-handed. You will see that if I use the big plate on the back, the holes line up, right? And you know, who cares what it looks like back here? It fits nicer right there. This is a pretty simple install, so I'll just tell you what I'm going to do, and then you can do it yourself. I'm going to obviously drill the pilot holes here. I'm going to put some 5200 marine 5200 sealant down here, and then I'm just going to squish this thing down on there, and that should waterproof it, keep it from leaking, screw it down, and boom, easy breezy, beautiful cover girl. Just a dab will do ya, just for the holes. Alright, got our ram ball installed there. I used a towel and just kind of really smoothed out and cleaned up that 5200 that seeped out when I screwed it down. Now I used a big oversized screw, drilled a small pilot hole so that it would grab really well. And there you go. Pretty easy stuff, guys. See if I can get this one-handed. You know, doing this stuff one-handed here, kind of hard. Any hoot, there you go. Boom. Ram mount installed. Now I got one final little thing that I want to do for today, and then we'll wrap it up. As you see, barely got enough light. All right, guys, last mod is done, because what Hobie fishing vessel wouldn't be complete if it did not have the official Hobie ruler sticker? You know we like our stickers, guys. I just threw that guy on there. I sat in the kayak and I can lean forward if I have a fish and just kind of lay him right here and see what his length is. Now I know it looks upside down to you, but when I am in the kayak here, I'll be able to kind of see these hash marks across here and see what my fish length is. Not that I ever catch any dang fish, but if I do ever catch a fish, I can measure him and I have my scale and I can weigh him. So hopefully this weekend we hook up on a fish. I'm going to be going out, do some bass fishing in this thing. But really, that's going to do it for this video, guys. I appreciate you watching some of the upgrades. I hope maybe you learned something. If you've got one of these Hobies and you want to do a little upgrade to your AI or your TI, you know, other than basic nut and bolt kind of knowledge, you don't need much skill to do this. That's why I love it. They're pretty easy to work on. So thanks again for watching. If you have any questions about anything or I missed something there in the explanation, drop a comment. I reply to all the comments, or at least try to reply to all of them. Drop a comment and I will try and help you out the best I can. Thanks for watching, guys. I will catch you on the next one.